Hi, welcome to The Noise. As you know, New Order are currently touring around the country, and we thought tonight we'd have a bit of a feature on them, including some live footage shot in Japan during their tour in 1985. And to help us out, we've invited Peter Hook from the band to come in and have a chat. Peter, welcome back to Australia.
Thank you.
And congratulations on Bizarre Love Triangle. Here it's doing really well on the charts at the moment.
Yeah, number 9 this week, so I believe.
Yeah. Why do you think it is that all of a sudden, with this and with Shell Shock, you're starting to get a bit of chart success?
Well, I suppose it's your distribution has got a lot better over here. Not your distribution, our distribution via factory, which is through CBS now. I think that's had an effect. And with Shell Shock, which is on A&M, I mean A&M are quite on the ball. Mm. So I think it's probably because we're working with different bigger record companies, you're getting the breakthrough. I think BLT also, with having the video at exactly the right time, has helped, whereas we've usually always done the video after we've released the single. Now with the Perfect Kiss and things like that. Yeah. Confusion, even Shell Shock, they've all been done afterwards, and this time you've got the video straight away, so it just shows you what a powerful medium video is, yeah. I suppose.
Speaking of distribution and stuff, it must be difficult working with an independent company and you've stuck by them. Have you ever been tempted to sort of go for a major company and all the advantages that they offer?
I'm not really sure they offer you that many advantages. I mean, the thing is that the thing about big labels is the thing they most want you to give up is control. And it's very difficult to give up your control, especially when you're so used to following things right the way through. I mean, like, all our overseas deals are all licensing deals. And as such, it's not a recording contract or anything. You just give them a product and they're stuck with it. So if you don't do a video, you know, that's it. They haven't got a video. Yeah. You know, there's nothing they can do about it. Yeah, it's up to you entirely. Yeah, so, I mean, signing to a major is like, it's just a way of somebody lending you money, really.
You know, I've just wondered, though, how it would have been different if Factory Records hadn't worked and New Order had signed up to a major label.
We probably won't be here today.
You don't think so? You don't think that perhaps around the time of, say, Blue Monday, you might have hit mega success?
From what I've seen, a mega success. It's not all it's cracked up to be.
But if it wasn't for your misfortune, I'd be a heavenly
Are you disappointed when some of the other bands go from independent labels to major companies?
Yeah, I mean, it's like the whole point of when we began the whole punk thing, the movement or whatever, was we were going to try and change things. Everybody's big intention was to change it, and it seems to me to have gone very normal again. People aren't really, if it's difficult, tend to take the easy way out rather than the difficult way out.
Yeah.
But we here at New Order pride ourselves on being difficult, so...
Stick by your guns, as they say.
Yeah, awkward to the end.
How do you feel when you look back 10 years ago, the time that punk was happening, with the benefit of hindsight? How do you view that period?
Old. That's about all. I don't think I've got the benefit of hindsight. I mean, it's like the past always looks better, doesn't it? It's like, you know, you only remember the good bits. The good old days, that's why they're good, because they're gone. But it was a very exciting period. It's just like everything was so new. You know, it was a very big learning thing for all of us, so I enjoyed it. I mean, still enjoy the memories.
interesting that New Order got to the stage where you were producing all your own records, and then you turned around and started using some American dance producers like Arthur Baker, who did Confusion, and John Roby, who did Subculture and things like that. How did that come about?
Well, it's the old mutual friend syndrome, as we call it in the trade. The guy who does Factory America, Michael Schamberg, in New York, he's very involved in that type of music, you know, you're talking about when hip-hop started and all that, the electro thing. And a lot of friends of his were working in the groups. So he used to go down and he met Arthur Baker, and through that, it was just when we'd done Blue Monday, when we started, and he played Arthur Blue Monday. Originally, he wanted him to remix Blue Monday, but when Arthur heard the LP, he preferred another track. And then from that other track, it went to, why don't we do another track, and etc., etc. So we ended up writing Confusion when we were with him, which was a little bit traumatic, because normally we'd always written before we went in the studio, and there we had to write in the studio, and it was like the first time we'd ever done it, and it was a bit, oh, wow.
What was he like as a producer? Was he a bit heavy-handed, or...?
No, he was a really nice guy. I mean, I really liked the way Arthur worked, because he was very punky. He just didn't know what he was doing, he just did it. You know, he just did it because it felt right, and the engineer was having, like, you know, heart attacks, but he worked, and it sounded really good. He was very, very good at what he did, but I was, like, we were all in awe of him, because we thought, you know, Arthur Baker, oh my God. When we got there, he didn't know what he was doing, you know. It was all by chance. It was really educational. It just showed you that you didn't have to, you know, be that good to do it. You could just go in and do it, which was good.
Yeah. What about John Roby? He sort of took bits of your music and mixed them around and did what he liked virtually. What did you think of what he did?
Personally, I didn't like it that much, because I've got a very fixed idea of how I think we should sound. And when we don't sound like that, then, you know, it's sort of not as endearing as when you do sound how you would like it. I mean, it's very difficult for me to be objective about things like that. You know. I'm too close to it, really.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it. I don't like the backing girl thing, and also, to me, it was just overproduced.
Yeah.
He just went bananas. He didn't just produce it, he had to make it his own by putting loads of overdubs on and things like that.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
You're saying the other day they tend to sort of mix you out a lot of the time.
Well, in
Mix the
America,
bass
for
out.
some reason, they do seem to leave the bass out every time they do a remix. Very strange.
Are there any other producers or even musicians that you'd really like to work with?
Talk about doing maybe a track with John Cale. There's a friend of ours in Manchester who's Nico's manager. Has mentioned to us that, you know, John Cale likes what we do. And I've always admired John Cale's work, his solo work, and of course Early Underground. So I think that would be quite an interesting collaboration. So maybe, you never know, we might get together with John Cale sometime.
So what happens after the Australian tour?
After Australia, we go home, and we've got a month off, I think, while we rebuild our practice place. Well, the roof fell in just before we came over here because of the foul weather. Yeah, we had a really bad burst, so it was like about that deep in water. So it was great watching all the equipment floating about. It was very interesting. So we've got to fix that when we get back. Then we're doing an AIDS benefit, very important, I think. And after that, we're doing 2 compilation albums for Factory, one Joy Division of all the early singles, and then a New Order compilation, 12 inches. And we're going to put the new 12-inch that we do next, which is called Touched. We're going to finish that, record that, and put that on, and that'll be released in the summer.
through their vocations, from the past until completion, will turn away no more. And I still find it so hard to say what I need to say. It wasn't for your misfortune, maybe I'll have a good yesterday.
The thing is that the way that we work is not the same as normal bands, you may have noticed. We're not really heavily into the promotion and media thing. We prefer to let them to come to us, which sometimes can be the kiss of death, but because of our success and following in England, it means that we don't have to flog our guts out.
With the near legendary Throbbing Gristle, he was at the forefront of the industrial noise sector of new music at the end of the 70s. And with his current band, Psychic TV, he has continued to make some interesting noise. So it came as a bit of a surprise last year when he started work on a record and apparently a film inspired by the late Rolling Stone, Brian Jones. Called Godstar, Orange sees it as a way of documenting the 60s. Now Psychic TV have released a 4-track EP which has 3 original pieces